We always hear in the NFL, if you win the turnover battle, you win the game. Just how important are turnovers? How about some facts, some cold hard football facts to back it up? Hi everybody, I'm Butch Stearns of the Pulse Network. He's Kerry Burns, the potentate of pigskin. Did I pop some peas on that?
You said it perfectly, Butch.
Of coldhardfootballfacts.com. It's all about the turnovers.
Yep.
You say the turnovers are the second most important stat in football. What the hell's the first one?
Final score, Butch, you know? Score more points, you win the game. 100% correlation to victory. But with that said, you know, we always talk about it. You hear about it. You know, any football fan, any analyst always talks about the importance of the battle of turnovers. Well, what we did is we conducted Spreadopedia. I wanted to know how important those turnovers were, especially in light of the Cleveland Browns, +7 in turnovers this week, 8-1, winning the turnover battle, and still barely winning that game. As we say this week in my column on Sports Illustrated, of all the Cleveland Browns in the world, you're the Cleveland Brownist.
Well, let's take a look at that game. Yep. Cleveland and Pat Shurmur ended up beating Pittsburgh, and Charlie Batch as the quarterback, 20-14. And yeah, Roethlisberger's out. Pittsburgh had 8 turnovers. Cleveland won the turnover battle +7. When you look at your numbers to back this up, had they lost this game, this is ridiculous.
It would have been a miracle. Teams, who are +7 on the turnover battle, 21-1 since 1978, which shows you it rarely happens. But teams +6 or better, going from +6 up to +10, the biggest differential in one game since 1978, are 97-2. But the thing is, Butch, you win all those turnovers, you should wipe out a competent team, a team other than the Cleveland Browns, should have wiped out the Pittsburgh Steelers. An example, the New England Patriots the last 2 weeks, +8 in turnovers, +4 each of the last 2 games, outscored the Colts and the Jets 108-43. That's what a competent team should do, winning that turnover battle.
Well, a turnover by nature gives you an extra possession on offense. And if you're the Patriots and you have Tom Brady and the best offense in football right now, they are converting those points into that turnovers into points.
Yeah, but even with that said, it is so important. It almost defies reason that really that one play, that one interception, losing that turnover battle. Your guy had 2 interceptions, the other guy had 1, and you win 70% of the time. It almost seems too important. It almost seems more important than it should, that one play. But the numbers are what the numbers are. We ran them. They really correlate to victory remarkably. We ran it all through Spreadopedia, Butch, at Cold Hard Insider. You're +1. You win 67% of games. 2 out of 3 NFL games. Go down the list. You have to +4. You win 95% of games. 588-30 at +4. Then +6, +7. You almost never lose.
The one that sticks out to me. Look at +1 to +2. It goes from 67% to almost 82%.
Yeah,
you get that second turnover advantage in yours. Another possession.
Yep.
And it jumps up that much.
We talked about that years ago in something we call the Cold Hard Football Facts Interception Ladder, where we looked only at interceptions. We did this years ago as a study of playoff football, and found every interception you get increases your chances of winning 20 percentage points. From 0, you win 60% of the games. You get 1, you win 80%. You get 2, so on up the line. And it's remarkable just looking at those numbers, just how that one turnover, that one advantage in one play in a game, no matter what else happens, you kill the other team. It's remarkable.
That's interesting because an interception versus a fumble, to me, there's a more mental part to it. There's a guy that made a great play to pick it off and a guy that made a bad play to throw it. A fumble's almost like a mistake. Oops! And then somebody has to get it.
The way we look at it, you're onto it, I think. The way we look at it is fumbles are kind of random acts. Some teams are better at forcing fumbles, but at the end of the day, you don't know who's going to pounce on that loose football. Interceptions, to me, Butch, are a combination of quality of your quarterback, quality of your scheme, quality of your talent. Better teams tend to have more interceptions, and those are much more a controlled action than just a random fumble.
All right, let's hammer the importance of turnovers. As you said with coldhardfootballfacts.com, the second most important stat in football, behind the final score, in 2012 against the spread. This really hammers it home.
Well, how about this? 106-30 straight up. You've won 78% of games just by winning the turnover battle. And against the spread, even better, 105, 29-3. That's the winning football. If we could only predict who would have the most turnovers each game, you'd really be onto something. But I think it's remarkable to see it. And it's also amazing that Spreadopedia at Cold Hard Insider, Butch, you can go in there, click a couple buttons, and this information takes seconds, literally seconds to find. You click turnover buttons, greater than 0, and hit whatever team you want to look at, hit whatever year you want to look at, and you spit out all this data in a matter of seconds.
You need the numbers to back it up, the numbers that correlate to victory. Check out Kerry Burns and coldhardfootballfacts.com.